This is Orchestra Hall backstage in Minneapolis, and it's been an unusual night, a unique night, when you look backwards in time and space, and for a lot of people, nostalgia is kind of a warm and comfortable place. For others, it's a completely total and new experience. For example, out in that audience are two people from Oslo, Norway. They're young people going to school in this area, and they got to hear about Cab Calloway and Benny Goodman and Ray McKinley and Anita O'Day on Norwegian radio. And for the first time tonight, they had a chance to see you, Cab Calloway, and it was just a heartwarming experience.
It's wonderful. I'm awful happy about that. I'm from Norway. That's just about one place I haven't been. Is Norway. I've been all over there. I mean, a lot of the other countries, but I've never been to Norway.
You've been traveling as Sportin Life for a long time.
Oh yes. It's Sportin Life. I went quite a few places with that. Yeah, I went to. Let's see. We went to Vienna, Germany, France, England. Then we came back to the United States, and then we did it in New York at the Ziegfeld Theater there for about 8 months, I think it was.
Sportin Life really wasn't a tremendous step out of your role as a showman, but it called for something. What did it call for?
Well, it called for really displaying the life of a very, very wild character. And that was me.
Well, I wasn't implying or insinuating anything. You're a very disciplined showman. And, of course, to be an actor and carry that role is not so deep a transition when I watch you perform.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard. I mean, very, very easy to really make that transformation there. Coming from being a band leader and going in acting and singing and doing the role of Sportin Life, it was quite easy, and I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it more than anything else I think I've ever done in life.
How can you describe the impact of Porgy and Bess on an audience in France, let's say?
It was very, very easy. Very easy. You see, there's no language in music.
It's international.
Yes. And they understood the whole thing. They did just we did the whole thing. They understood it all. And as a matter of fact, we got one of our greatest ovations in France at the Empire Theater was there. Oh, gee, it was fantastic. And they enjoyed every second of it. And I enjoyed doing it.
Cab Calloway, thank you very much for those comments concerning Sportin Life and a nostalgic reference or two concerning those tours. This is Leigh Kamman from Orchestra Hall backstage. And on stage, you can hear somewhat in the background the very delightful sounds of String of Pearls, which signifies a certain historic reference points in time and space, the age of the big bands, which Cab Calloway represents. And Cab, if we may, we'll stop back and talk with you again.
Good.
Orchestra Hall, Minneapolis, Cab Calloway backstage. He's on tour, and I don't think he's been off tour for very long. When do you get a breather?
Well, I haven't had a breather in quite a long time, and I don't know whether the way it looks now, I'm not going to get a breather in a long time. I've been going and going and going and going and going, and I just keep on going.
You seem to be most indefatigable, and you look in marvelous condition.
I am in pretty good shape. I'm really in pretty good shape. But, matter of fact, I think I'm in a little better shape than I was the last time I was here.
Cab, out of the 30s and the 40s, and, well, the 20s, 30s, and 40s, in your band was a kind of generating spark, the beginning of what was the transition from swing and the traditional way of looking at jazz because of the nature of the musicians that you employed. And there were some really great figures in that band that you led, particularly when you were recording for Columbia Records and OK. And if I mention the name Chu Berry, what do you say?
That's right, Chu Berry. When you mention that name, that's just about the finest tenor man that ever lived. I think he was the toughest man I've ever seen. I never heard anyone like him. And I had quite a few great ones in there. Guys like had Cozy Cole and Jonah Jones and Tyree Glenn, Milton Hinton, Hilton Jefferson, Ben Webster was with me, Illinois Jackhead, Sam Taylor, Ike Quebec. They were all tenor men. They all followed Chew. All of these guys followed Chew because Chew was killed in an automobile accident in 1939, and the world had never really heard the greatest that there ever was because he died too soon. And he couldn't get a chance to do it, but he was the world's greatest. I tell you that, man. I tell you, you make a horn talk.
Well, he certainly has a couple of eloquent solos preserved forever in records.
Yes. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of albums out now with a lot of Chew's stuff on there. Chew's playing a lot of stuff with this thing called Cab Calloway Classics. It's on Columbia. There's a lot of Chewberry on there. And Dizzy Gillespie, a lot of Dizzy's on there, too. And Tyree Glenn, there's another one. And a lot of jazz greats were. I made it's about 4 albums out. That's the 20 classics, the 16 classics, and another one called Cruising with Cab, and another one Cab Calloway in the 40s, I think it is. No, Cab Calloway in the 60s. Very good.
Well, those little reviews are, I think, important to our listening audience because so many of them are collectors, and we'll once again go searching for those treasured reissues. Cab, when you mentioned Dizzy Gillespie, because he was such a forceful leader and mover in the music field, he, along with Charlie Parker, forged a change. But what was Dizzy like when he was with you? He was a young man.
Oh, he was a young, wild kid. He and I were both wild together. And I'll never forget when Dizzy took a solo once, and I said, "Man, what is that you playing? There's no Chinese music in my band." I said, "That was the beginning of bop." He started playing bop. That's what it was.
About what year was that?
Oh, that was in the 40s, around 40, 44, 45.
Well, Cab, that's an interesting little side issue and side light. Thanks very much. I'm talking with Cab Calloway. The place is Orchestra Hall backstage, and the sound of the 40s is the reason for this meeting, and I thank you.
You're welcome.